I feel very, very good to be telling you about this because we should be living this reality. Violent protests continue for weeks now after the death of the woman you're watching on your screen, 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. She was in custody of the country's morality police, and then this happened. Women and girls started taking to the streets, shedding their hijabs in solidarity with Amini, arrested for wearing hers incorrectly, like she was showing a little bit of some part of her body. At least 150 have been reported dead. And again, who knows about that number, because you're not going to get the correct numbers from the state, that's for sure. Protesters are calling it a revolution against the oppressive Islamist regime. Now, some of you have come at me saying, hey, that's Iran's business. And, we've done enough for Ukraine, too. We got to stay out of other people's problems. We have enough to deal with at home. I am in no hurry to leave my family again and spend time on foreign soil watching people die for like the 10th time. But the idea that what happens there doesn't matter to us here at home is wrong. Okay? Now, about what's happening there and what it means. Iranian-born TikTok activist Yeganeh Mafar is using the social platform to do what social media should do, which is to spread the word. It is very good to have her. Listen to this.
The internet is going to be cut off in Iran. They've already lost access to Instagram. For those unaware, this woman was unalived due to the mandatory hijab laws in Iran. That event caused mass protests. Iran needs your help in sharing this message.
Why should people care here?
I think the things that are happening now can reflect anywhere. If you care about feminist values, if you care about human lives, this is something that everyone in the world should care about.
Now, we also have with us Morgan Ortagus, who's been outspoken on this issue, former State Department spokesperson, believes it matters here. It's good to see you, my friend. To the Americans who are saying, look, we care, this is terrible, but we have our own problems. Why should Americans be concerned from a policy and American interest perspective about what happens in Iran?
Americans should care because this is gender apartheid basically happening in Iran. There's 42 million women that can't do simple things like show their hair every day. And when you look at the Middle East, in the Trump administration in which I served, and I served in the Obama administration as well, we handed 4 peace deals between Israel and Arab states to the Biden administration. The way we were able to do that is because we united them essentially over a common enemy in the Islamic Republic of Iran that oppresses its people, as you see. And that's one of the reasons why we focused on a maximum economic pressure campaign that would starve these oppressors, that would starve the regime of the ability to do what the IRGC Quds Force is doing this year, which is buying more and more safe houses, and which is empowering the very thugs and the people that you see on this screen. So I think it's incredibly important for America to stand up for human rights. Tony Blinken said in his Senate confirmation that he was going to stand up and lead his foreign policy with human rights. We haven't seen that in the case of Iran. They have recently put sanctions on the so-called morality police. It's a good step, but it's not nearly enough.
Quick follow for you, Morgan. What is your greatest concern if America does nothing?
If America does nothing, you'll just continue to see these women that will literally die over their hair. They're going to die over peacefully protesting. And what's more is you're going to see this regime right now, because U.S. sanctions are not being enforced. The Chinese and others are buying oil from Iran. Their foreign currency reserves are up to probably $41 billion this year. It was down to $4 billion in 2019 during the pressure campaign. So essentially what's happening is this regime has the money. They have the lifeblood to be able to harass these women, to harass anyone peacefully protesting, and they will, more importantly, take that money and continue to fund terrorism around the region. Well, you may not know, Al-Qaeda senior leadership, safe harbor in Iran right now as we speak.
Yeganeh, when you're talking to young people here, and they say, okay, I feel the pain that's going on there. What can we do? What do you want?
Sure, I think she made a wonderful point about sanctions. I would have disagreed with them prior to what's going on right now. I don't think blanket sanctions help a country. I think rather than taking money away from a regime, it takes money away from innocent people, and I can give that experience from my family's experience. It's not that you're taking money away from morality police. Sometimes it's you're just taking money away from starving people. But I agree right now, what we have to do is push for this nuclear deal not to happen. We have to push for talks between Biden and the regime not to happen. If you asked me a month ago, I would have said something completely different. But right now, we have to advocate for speaking for the women there and speaking for the protesters. So my opinion on it has changed a lot with time that has gone by.
And for people here, what do you want to see? Do you think this should become like a social media energy where, by the way, it's happening in that my thread, I didn't need it. You know, I'm going to be a natural ally about this because I believe that's a part of this job is to care about these situations. But I got a lot of people coming. Should they be doing that to their lawmakers and say, care about this? Yeah,
I mean, you can find resources to talk to your lawmakers, but it's unfortunate that we can't do what we did with Ukraine and give money or put it in a GoFundMe and help these people in real time. But the biggest thing you can do is share this story and not let it become one of those things that you hear about for 2 days and then you're like, what happened with that? No one continued talking about it. This has to continually be updated. And Iran's had protests before. And one of the biggest things is they can suppress the media, but they can't suppress us here. So by you talking about it, it's amazing. And I think as Americans, sometimes we get scared that we're going to say the wrong things and we should let the people speak. We should let them and just amplify their voices. But honestly, from any Iranian person I've spoken to from Iran, they've said, I don't care, anyone. If you're a white woman, a black woman, anyone, just talk. Like, no one's going to get in trouble.
Yeganeh, thank you very much. And any way we can help, we're here. Morgan, I look forward to speaking with you on all kinds of political issues. Thank you for helping me out tonight.
Thanks.